a very warm welcomes to all of you. Let me start with brief introduction about myself. I've got 6 plus years of experience in IT world. It's been very long since I've been working in big data domain. Right now I'm working with one of the renowned player in big data at their Noida location. I'm also Hortonworks certified Apache Hadoop developer. Let's talk about big data. Big data is the next big thing in the IT world. Everybody is talking about that. Even if you talk to a non-technical guy, he would have at least heard about this word, big data. Big data can break down dramatic cost reductions and substantial improvements in the time required to perform a computing task. What is big data? As the name reveals its true identity. Yes, you are right. It has everything to do with the data. Big data is similar to small data but very big in size. That means data set is so large and complex that it becomes difficult to process using on-hand database management tools or traditional data processing application. Large data sets which can't be able to process by single machine within expected time frame. Why big data is so important? Why everybody is going after this technology? Let's say if you go to a Amazon, Flipkart or maybe snapdeal.com or any good e-commerce website, suppose you purchase a kitchen item, so whenever you'll be purchasing a kitchen item, so they will recommend something related to that kitchen item. It would never happen you purchase a mobile, or so they would be recommending perfume on the basis of your mobile purchase. Or maybe if you have purchased a book from amazon.com or any good website, so whenever you will be visiting that website again, so they'll recommend you something similar to that book. So how they are doing? So this is not a rocket science. So they must be doing some analytics at the back end. So to perform analytics, they should have all the transaction details of millions of customers. How they are recommending something, I'll give you a very small example. Let's say they have, on the basis of various customers transaction detail, what they have found is, so those customer who are purchasing chips, so there is a probability they also purchase cold drink. 10 out of 100 they have found those purchase chips, they also purchase cold drink. So they started recommending those who are buying chips, so they will also recommending cold drink with that. So this is how they must be doing recommendation at the back end. So to store a millions of transaction details every hour, you should have that kind of platform where you can store enormous amount of data. So current databases like RDMS databases, so they are based on vertical scalable principle. So they are not capable of doing so. So vertical scalable principle means if a hardware or if a platform is based on a vertical scalable, so you can improve the hardware of that particular machine. Let's say you started a company, you started with one server having 12 CPU or maybe 96 GB RAM or maybe 10 TB data. With the passage of time, your business is boosting and now you need to upgrade your hardware. So now you have upgraded 96 GB RAM to 128 GB RAM, or maybe 16 CPU to 28 CPU, or maybe 12 TB to 28 TB, right? But there would be a threshold point when you won't be able to improve the hardware, because maybe your vendor won't be able to support that hardware, or maybe your chipset won't support that kind of hardware. So this is vertical scalable, where you are improving the hardware of one particular machine. To store the enormous amount of data and to process that enormous amount of data, you should have that kind of platform where you can perform parallel computing, or those who should be based on horizontal scalable principle. Horizontal scalable means simply adding another machine. Let's say you started with 5 machines. With the passage of time, your business is booming, then you added another machine. So there is no limit, so you can add as many machine as you want as per your need. This is horizontal scalable principle. So our existing databases doesn't support this horizontal scalable principle. Now we have introduced other sources of information as well. From that kind of information, somebody can boost the business, or somebody can give a new insight to the business. Let's say we have, now there is a new concept which has been adopted in the industry, that is a clickstream data. Clickstream data is being analyzed. What clickstream data is, let's say somebody goes to a good website, whatever you are doing in that website, how much time you are spending on that particular page, how much time you are spending on some particular offer. So they are triggering, or they are capturing your each and every moment on that site. And moreover, they have all your details, like from which IP you are being currently logged on, which ISP is supporting your IP, which Firefox or which browser you are currently running, which OS you are running, your last 6 months purchase history, everything, every damn information they have. So now that information can be used to enhance the business. Let's say you search for a particular product and you didn't buy that product at that time. So whenever you will be logging that time next time, so good website, what they will do, so they will customize that solution for you. So you will start seeing all the offers or all the product detail which you were looking in your last login. So in that way they can increase the business. Similarly, we have other sources of data as well. I would say different data types of big data. One is clickstream data that we have discussed. Second could be a sensor data. Sensor data is where your particular machine is generating the data. Or a simplest example is, let's say your one flight is taking a route from India to US, and that flight is generating data, and that data can be used to monitor that flight as well, or maybe used for the future purpose to do some advanced analysis. Other data type could be a geolocation data. Geolocation data is that kind of data which gets created on the basis of location, on the basis of latitude, like longitude. Let's say a use case could be, suppose there is a truck running company in US, and they run many trucks in various cities. So what they want to make sure, if some truck, let's say a particular truck is running in Seattle, so they want to make sure when that particular truck will cross the boundary of Seattle, so they should get notification. Other data type could be uh, sentiment analysis, like trend nowadays. Whenever some company launches a product, so they do monitor some emotions among the audience through Twitter. Or let's say when Iron Man 3 was released, so they wanted to see the emotions among the audience, whether overall emotion is positive about the movie or not, or how they could have improved the marketing before releasing the movie. So this kind of data is also generating, and this kind of data is also being used for the analysis purpose. Other data types could be logs, where your application is logging something in logs, and that logs can be very helpful to boost your business. Other, in the past we didn't have that kind of platform, we didn't have that kind of infrastructure where we could have done this kind of analysis, but now we have that kind of platform where we can use this logs or other sources of information as a tool to boost our business. Other data types could be text mining. Lots of text is there in the net, so that text can be used to enhance the business as well. So conclusion is, now we have introduced new data types, we have various sources of information, we are generating data with a very speed, we are generating lots of data. So if you are storing your data and you don't want to use that data, then this is not a use case of big data. So you will store only that data which you think could be useful for your business. In big data, we are using structured form of data, we are using semi-structured form of data, and we are using unstructured form of data as well. Semi-structured data could be a data where you have some structure in the data, for example your logs file. And unstructured form of data could be where you don't have any structure in the data. Example could be your image processing or your video processing. So we are utilizing this structure, semi-structured and unstructured data to boost our business, to enhance our business. What's happening in just 1 minute? 168 million emails are sent, 5 plus lakhs comments, 6 plus lakhs status updates, 98,000 tweets, 320 new Twitter accounts, 100 plus new LinkedIn accounts, 70 plus new domains registered, and so and so. So as we can see, lots of information is generated, lots of information, lots of data is getting generated in 1 minute. So there are three characteristics of big data, basically three V's which defines big data: volume, velocity, and variety. Volume is related with the data quantity, how much data we are generating. PBs of data is getting generated from the various sources like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, from various stock exchanges, from various sensor data, from various geolocation data. So lots of information, lots of sources has been added which are contributing towards generation of data. Next comes velocity. Velocity is related with the speed, how fastly we are generating the data. So we have seen in the last slide in 1 minute what's happening in the world. So we can imagine how fastly we are generating the data. Variety, if we talk in terms of data types, we discussed now we have clickstream data, we have sensor data, we have geolocation data, we have logs, we have text mining, we have sentiment data. So we have various types of data. So we have variety of data. So basically there are three V's which defines this big data. So as we can see from this slide, everywhere big data is being applied, be it telecom, finance, healthcare, everywhere this big data is being applied for advanced analytics, for boosting the business, to get the new customer, to retain the customer, to do the log analysis, to improve the search quality, to prevent the fraud, to improve the trading analytics, to monitor the manufacturing, to monitor the traffic control, to improve the healthcare. Everywhere this big data is being applied. So by 2017, 4.4 million IT jobs in big data, about 2 million in US itself. And India will require minimum 5 lakh data scientists, data analysts, and data managers to support the big data space in coming years. So as we can see how big data is going to grow in future. So this is the big data landscape, where these are the names of few companies, these are the names of big players which are contributing in big data. Thank you.